Dogs. They are often regarded as man's best friends. Dogs are one of the most popular pets in the Western countries, especially in the United States. According to the 2015 to 2016 APPA National Pet Owner Survey, there are more than 77 million of them as pets in this country alone. We see them everywhere, from the suburbs to the cities. With the rising number of pet-related industries in the US, expenditures on our furry friends topped $62.75 billion. So what makes dogs so attractive? And why are we seeing more and more of them in urban areas? Dogs have a rich background, tracing back in history to prehistoric times. The relationship between primitive man and animals started with that of the hunter and prey. Over time, however, the dog's ancestor, the wolf, made the first transition to be domesticated and live with humans. This occurred more than 12,000 years ago when people discovered that young wolf cubs remained subordinate and could be taught to live and work with humans. Dogs were trained to perform tasks like hunting, guarding, and herding. The discovery of a Paleolithic tomb in northern Israel found a human was buried with a dog or what may have been a wolf puppy. The decedent's hand had been arranged so that it rested on the animal's shoulder, as if to emphasize a deep bond of affection during their life together. That proves that dogs were considered companions as early as 12,000 years ago. In some ancient civilizations, dogs may also have had cultural significance, usually in regard to death practices. For example, in ancient Greece, dogs were kept as co-therapists in healing temples for their perceived ability to cure illnesses. In present-day societies, canines have a number of roles, from companion to status symbol to helper and therapy dogs. Dogs can also act as a channel for personal expression as people express their personalities in the breeds they choose. But the most common reason for having pets in Western society is companionship. In recent years, there's been a growing awareness of the very positive effects this relationship can have on a person's health and psychological well-being. Additionally, the recognition of therapeutic value of companion animals has been significantly recognized in the recent years. According to KC Dog Blog, pet industry expenditures were an estimated $50.8 billion in 2011. 38% of this money was spent on food, 22% on supplies and medicine, and 28% on veterinary care. In 2013, the average cost for the first year of raising a small dog was $2,674. Medium dogs on the average cost $2,889, while the cost for a large dog is over $3,000 per year. If you like giant breeds such as Great Danes, you'll have a cost of over $3,500 per year. The pet industry's tremendous growth has been hitched to the massive baby boom generation, the oldest of whom are just entering their 70s. While consumer spending typically tends to decline at age 55, chief industry numbers cruncher John Gibbons observed that pet spending reaches its peak at ages 55 to 64 as consumers focus on their pet children. With that said, boomers can be expected to continue the drive of pet product sales for over the next decade. Since 2009, there has been an upward trend in people relinquishing their pets to shelters. However, pet ownership is in no danger of going away anytime soon, and money spent on dogs especially will continue to increase. New products and innovations like a self-warming dog bed, doggy safety seats, and health and beauty products such as specialty shampoos and conditioners, and yes, even toenail polish. The number of dog owners in urban areas has been increasing for the past several years, and cities have become more and more pet-friendly. San Diego is rated second in the nation for best cities for dogs. There are plenty of restaurants with dog-friendly patios, a National Dog Party Day, and a strong dog advocacy in the community. San Diego is also the dog surfing capital of the world and even hosts an annual competition called the Surf Dog Surfathon. The city of San Diego has approved multiple leash-free dog parks to meet dog owners' needs. How does owning a dog affect urban living? Maybe America's next generation will be called Generation Rex. An article that appeared in the New York Post in 2014 claims that more young women are choosing dogs over motherhood. If you're wondering why playgrounds around New York City are so quiet but dog parks are packed, a new report has the answer. More and more U.S. women are foregoing motherhood and getting their maternal needs filled by owning a purse-sized canine. Data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention show that a significant drop in the number of babies born to women ages 15 to 29 corresponds with a large increase in the number of dogs owned by young U.S. women. Dog-loving New York women told the Post that they aren't surprised by the findings and that they are happy giving up changing diapers, dealing with temper tantrums, and saving for college tuition for the easy affection of their doggy child. The federal data behind the report shows that over the past 7 years, the number of live births per 1,000 women between the ages of 15 and 29 in America has gone down by 9%. At the same time, research by the American Pet Products Association shows the number of small dogs under 25 pounds in the United States has skyrocketed from 34.1 million in 2008 to over 40 million in 2012. Market researcher Damian Shore was asked if he thought the drop in baby births and the rise in puppy ownership was a coincidence, or if women these days were really making dogs their little bundles of joy. His response: "There's definitely some replacement happening there." Dog lovers interviewed by the Post said the trend has long been going on in the city, where single women with small pocket pooches have been a standard for years. According to the Wall Street Journal, as of 2013, the average cost of raising a child from birth to their 18th birthday is $245,000 for middle-income families. For low-income families, this cost is about $176,000 and climbs all the way up to over $400,000 for high-wage earners. For the middle-income families, their housing costs represented 30% of their total costs. Because this is a national average, cities like San Diego, Chicago, New York, Boston, and San Francisco all have much higher housing costs that can exceed 40% of the total cost of raising a child. Are the costs associated with having children a deciding factor for those opting to have dogs instead of kids? While it may not be the deciding factor, it's likely an important one. According to Pew Research, the costs of licensed professional childcare on average has increased more than 70% in inflation-adjusted dollars from 1985 to 2011. Additionally, childcare represented more than 7% of a family's annual income. In 2013, the average cost range of annual full-time infant care in California was $12,000 to $15,000 per year. For a single mother with an annual income of $65,000, this expense represents more than 20% of her yearly income. As with their counterparts, singles and couples without children have some of the same issues to address for their pets, including daytime care, entertaining and stimulation, as well as basics such as food and medical care. According to Care.com, doggy daycare can cost up to $35 per day in major cities across the U.S. Consider this: if a single working professional used a daycare service for their dog 245 days per year at $35 per day, that's an annual expense of $8,575. Using a dog walker will save some money, as the average is around $20 per day, making the annual amount just under $5,000. Parents and those planning on having children may make decisions on where to live based on the schools, libraries, and parks in that area. For those urbanites opting for a child-free lifestyle, but one that does include a dog, may opt for housing solutions that have an outdoor space, private or communal, close proximity to a designated dog park, as well as being near specialty pet food and supply stores, all of which are becoming a significant part of large cities and their metro landscapes. However, still, when we compare the cost of raising a child averaging at $275,000 over their lifetime to age 18, is still far more expensive than raising a dog, which comes in at an average of $46,275 for the dog's lifetime. Another reason why urbanites choose dogs is due to a phenomenon that is exclusively happening in cities, and it's called the urban loneliness. What is urban loneliness? It is a common side effect of big city life. The limitless amount of social opportunities available creates a feeling of isolation when you don't exploit all of these opportunities. The depression is further increased by constantly witnessing other people seemingly overcoming these challenges better than you. According to Age UK report in 2016, there are higher percentages of loneliness in the cities than in suburban or rural areas. With 27% of the US population living by themselves and over a third of New Yorkers doing the same, more and more people are in need of companions and quality relationships. Stress is also added to that loneliness. According to the research of Dr. Andres Meyer-Lindberg of the Central Institute of Mental Health in Mannheim, Germany, city dwellers' brains, compared with people who live outside of the city, seem to not handle stress as well. They did this by looking and comparing two brain regions, the amygdala and PACC, which are known to be involved in assessing threats and generating fear, while the PACC in turn helps to regulate the amygdala. Dr. Meyer-Lindberg found that the amygdala in city dwellers seems to be far more active than people from small towns. Could these be the reasons why urban dwellers own dogs to ease their loneliness and stress, not just to replace children? According to a study done by Timothy A. Seikel, an associate professor of psychology at Carleton University of Canada, although pets may be a source of companionship, the fact that pet owners living alone were not less lonely or depressed than individuals living alone without a pet raises the possibility that the benefits of pet ownership for dog and cat owners may only be apparent when other factors such as levels of human social support are considered. As the city dwellers are more likely to not have a good social support, they found that owning dogs helped them in dealing with their emotional issues. Indeed, the third most frequently cited benefit of dog ownership in the study was love and affection, endorsed by 41% of those participating in the study. And so, stress, loneliness, and the high cost of raising children in urban areas are the three most plausible reasons why urban dwellers own dogs. According to the US Census Bureau, in 2016, there are more dogs than children under 18 in San Francisco, which is often dubbed the most pet-friendly city in the US. As the cost of living expenses in urban areas will only go up, this trend will continue. Humans are always seeking quality companionship throughout their lives, and dogs, although they cannot solve their owners' problems, can still provide much-needed emotional support for humans who choose to live in the concrete jungle.